Hey guys, what's up? It's Shadowlands back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing some little Sony Vegas tutorials for you guys. A lot of you have asked me, how do you make your videos? How does stuff happen? I made one of these videos a while back, so it's a little outdated now. Want to do another one, so I'm going to fire up Sony Vegas 12 here. This tutorial applies to both Sony Vegas 12 and Sony Vegas 11 and 11 Pro. I'm using Vegas 12 Pro, which a lot of people won't typically have, but this applies to that too if you guys happen to have that. So let's go ahead and pick some media. Also, I'm sorry if my audio doesn't sound particularly fantastic. I'm using Camtasia to record, if you can see down here, so that's a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and whip out this 3-minute and 10-second video footage here so you guys can see it, and I'm just going to go over a list of things that I have here. So first off, I'm going to go into sound editing. So I'm going to go ahead and import some audio as well. Media, let's go into music. Let's use some East News sound and just whip out something instrumental here. This is a good one, so let's go ahead and pull this out. So now the first thing you're going to notice is that there are some pretty obvious things here. So first I'm going to show you how to do a bass booster. Now you don't just want to add a bass boost because that's very important. You're going to click on this little thing down here. Now there's also one in the video tab up here. This is going to be a video stream right here, so anything you put on here has to be visual, and this is an audio stream. Anything you put on here is going to be audio. If you notice right here, there are some different things right here than there are right here. So that's different. Also, you have the decibel booster versus the level booster and some other things here. Pan, you can change where the audio comes from and all that stuff there. It's really, really cool. But going into audio effects, so what you're going to want to do if you want to do a bass boost, you're going to go smooth and enchants, and I'm holding control when I click this so I can do a boolean and select multiple things. Resonance filter and track equalizer. I'm going to click add over here and then OK. Now you're going to get a little function right here. Now you can mess with this stuff down here for some fine-tuning stuff, but don't do that until you finally get ready to do this kind of stuff. Now, you can move these things around here to change the way the sound is going to look. Now, if you wanted to fine-tune it, you come down here and mess with it, but if you want to do it generally, you can mess with it up here. Now, that you can just build your own like that, but there's a couple that I use. Depth 1 is if I want a little bit of bass boost, and this is what it looks like right here. So if you want to mess around with it until it looks like this will give you a little bit of bass boost. Now if you want to use a lot of bass boost, you're going to want to do this. Now this is a little bit weird. You're going to change this thing here that says low shelf, so I'm going to come to number 1. So if I click on number 2, 3, and 4, 4 is a high shelf, 3 is a band, and then both 2 and 1 are low shelves, and that's why you get this curve right here, and it looks really, really cool and weird. So if I come onto here, you can see the differences here, which is really nice. It basically combines the two of them. So you're going to make it look like this if you want a lot of bass boost. It's going to get rid of a lot of noise, and it's going to sound really good. Smooth and enchants, you don't do a lot to this. You just smooth it by 1 or 2 levels. I usually just do it by 1. It doesn't have a lot of effect, but it gets rid of the very fine static that you have, which is really nice. Now, if you want your voice to sound really crisp and clear, you're going to take it all the way up here. But that's usually not something you want because a lot of you don't have studio quality microphones, and you don't have a perfectly quiet room to record in. So you just want to turn the smooth down by 1 or 2. It's actually quite nice. Up until you get to about 3, it's not hyper noticeable, but 1 or 2 usually gets rid of what you want. Now this is just something very fine-tuned that you want to do. You can ignore everything here except this. Lower this to approximately 18,000 to 19,000 hertz right here, and lower this to about the 86 to 90 mark. Anywhere in there works typically pretty well. I usually put it somewhere about right in here-ish, and that works pretty well for me. So that's how you get the sound that you want. So the next thing I'm going to mention is how to get rid of the black bars on the sides of the screen. A lot of you guys ask me, and a lot of people forget this. It's a very simple little fix. All you got to do is right-click on the clip, and you have to do this for every clip you have in here. So if I put this down here again over here, look at this. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to switches, and I'm going to go to maintain aspect ratio. If it's checked, it's going to have black bars. But if I uncheck it, the black bars go away. But now if I come over here, see how the black bars are back? It's because I had not done that yet. So I'm going to come back over here, turn maintain aspect ratio on and off again. I'm going to go and delete this clip since I don't really... Actually, I'm going to need that again in just a second. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys how to do is do some crossfades and stuff, which is really cool. First, to understand that, though, you have to understand opacity and regular fades. So a regular fade, you can grab right up here and move it this way. So if I play the clip, and I'm going to mute the audio right now, so I'm going to drag it out of here. So I'm going to come here. You can see it playing. Actually, I'm going to make that a little bit shorter so you guys can actually see what's going on here. You can play it, and it will fade out like this. So if you see, the screen's going to fade out right here, which is really nice and cool. You can see if I normally don't do that, it just keeps playing, and it will stop deadpan right about now. So that's really cool if you want to do that. You can do the same with fading in over here. Now, there's some little weird thing about Sony Vegas, and I think it's actually a bug. I don't think this is intentional. But here's how you do opacity. You click this and you can drag it up and down to make the screen more see-through or not. So let's say I have another clip under here somewhere. I'm going to drag this onto a new row. See how you can sort of see the background? See how they kind of fade over it like that? As I lower this, you can see more of the one that's down here. Well, that's what that is. So I'm going to drag this back up here, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can create new tracks for video and audio down here. You can just say create new track, insert audio track or video track. So that's if you want to make a new track there. That's really cool. Also on audio, if you want to increase just the basic volume of your audio, you can use this decibel thing here. However, that can also increase your static, and it can really screw up this audio editing that we did over here earlier. So it's not usually recommended that you use this too much. This is like if you have all one track that is the same recording. So if you have like all of your voice going and no other sounds on that track, no sound effects or anything, that's when you might want to try using that. So that's neat. This pan thing is if you want to be heard on the right or on the left, or if like you don't want it to come out of one earphone, you want it to come out of another, or speakers or whatnot. That's what you're going to get out of there. Another little thing I want to show you here is this is if you have multiple audio tracks and multiple video tracks. Now here's what I'm going to show you. So if I come over here and I put it on here, you're only looking at the top video track. You're not looking at the bottom one. However, if I click this solo thing, it will flip to the bottom one over here. So I'm going to put these slightly out of sync so they have different frames. See, if I unclick this, you're looking at only the top one, but if I click on solo, it will do this. Now keep in mind, if you go to render and you have something left on solo, it will only render what's in the solo. It will not render what's also on top of it, which is kind of a pain in the butt, and I've had to refix that a lot. So now another really simple thing that you may or may not have realized so far is that you can scroll up and down this over here, and you can zoom in by scrolling in and out. Now if you hold control, you control this thing on the side without having to actually go and click it. So if you want to control the vertical scrolling on the thing, you can go up and down. You can hold control and then use your mouse wheel. Now if you just use your mouse wheel, you will zoom in and out, which I like a lot. Now for easy crossfades, so you don't have to like do the whole this and then do that. While that may look nice if you want to have a complete fade out, what you can also do is overlap them like this, and it will tell you, this number here will tell you exactly how long the crossfade is going to last. So let's do like a 2-second crossfade. So we're going to fade out of this clip. It's going to fade that one out and the other one in at the same time. I do this a lot in my videos when I have to switch between clips because it looks better. So you can fade in and out of clips that way really easily. Audio works the exact same way. So now I'm going to go in how to slice audio and video, which is really cool. So first you select what you want to actually slice, whether it's a video or an audio track. Now S is the hotkey for this, so I'm going to press S, and you see how it cut this into 2 pieces here? Also, just a quick hotkey that you might want to remember, Control Z is to undo stuff, which is really useful. So if I want to come in here, I can now crossfade this, and I can also do the same thing with the video track by fading in and fading out. Also, this does not affect opacity, it affects how loud the thing is. This is decibels. So if you want to go quieter, you can take it down, and if you want to go louder, you can go, wider, taller. However, so if you want to take it down here, if you notice up here, I can still control the fade in and out from here. Same from over here. However, there's another weird little thing that comes when you mess with video. So if I go ahead and, for example, lower the opacity on this, it's not going to let me change it from here most of the time. It's a really weird little problem, and it doesn't appear to be doing it right now, but you normally can't change it from up here. If it for some reason won't allow you to change it after you've changed the opacity or the volume on a clip, you will actually have to scroll down to about where the bar is, and you will be able to change it from right here. Now, it's not seeming to do the bug right now, which is kind of weird. I noticed it was Sony Vegas 11 Pro also. It's not just 12. It's a bug with both things, and I think it is a bug. I don't think it's actually intentional. So there's that too. Now, if you want to select multiple things, like let's say I want to select particular clips, I can click on this, and I can hold Control and click on this, and I can move both of those clips without moving the rest. Now, let's say I wanted to select all of them at once. I can hold Shift, and instead of having to hold Control and select all of them like this, I can do it like this. I can click this, and I can come down here, hold Shift, and click this, and it will select all of them within this range right here, anything that they're touching. It touches this, even though it doesn't completely fully get the clip all the way out to here, it will select the clip anyway. So then you can move everything, which is kind of cool. Now your preview up here can be changed by doing draft, and this is just the quality you want the preview to be in. So if you have a lot of special effects on, and you have a lot of hardcore stuff, put it on draft and auto. It will be awful quality like you can see here, but whoa, that was actually kind of loud, my bad. It will actually put it on full quality so that you guys can actually see everything what's going on, so you can at least kind of see what's going on. I usually leave it on preview and auto since I have a pretty good computer that can run this stuff. It runs it at about 240p, maybe 360, so somewhere in there, which is really nice. So, last couple of things I wanted to go over. If you just want to shorten a clip, you can do this. You can just shorten the clip like this and lengthen it like this. Now, you see how it made this little cut right here? This little cut right here? That means the thing is going to repeat. So, if you notice, the clip repeats when it does that. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to take it back to the beginning right here. And now if you want to speed up a clip, so let's go ahead and cut out a small portion of this and come on over here for a minute. I'm going to zoom in over here. So let's say this is the normal speed of the clip right here. Now if I want to increase the speed of the clip, I'm going to hold control. I'm going to click here, and you see how my mouse changes right there? This thing right here? It changes when I hold control. It changes, put that squiggly under it. Now if you just want to trim the event and move the event how you want to, like I just showed you, you can do it without holding control. But if you hold control, you can get this little fuzzy line right here that'll show you that it's being compressed or stretched. So now if I play the clip, I'm going to move really, really fast, and the video goes much, much faster. You can see what goes on here. You can also do the same to slow it down. You can hold control and stretch it, and you'll move really, really slowly. As you can see, everything's going in slow motion. So that's really kind of cool and neat to play with. Now, if you're just going to use, last thing I'm going to show you guys before I end this video, is that you can do a whole bunch of things. This is your project media right here. And then you have Explorer, which is kind of useless in my opinion. I never really use transitions because I just do the crossfade stuff. I don't really do a whole lot else. However, video effects is where you can come and get all your cool stuff. Now, there are two ones here that I have installed, and if you're an FPS video editor, these things are absolutely must-haves. Something called RSMB. Now there's two RSMBs that there are. I have one called Radial Scan Motion Blur, which is a little bit different than the one that most people use. It's a paid one that you have to go get. It's pretty expensive. It's about $80, and it does just basically a much better job of the other one. This one is something like Real Something Motion Blur. It's a little different. REEL. It's like Real Scan Motion Blur, something like that. It's a little bit different, but it's free, so you might as well get that. And then the other one is Magic Bullet Looks, which is this thing right here. Now, this is also paid. It's by Red Giant. And that's basically how you get all your color correction and cool stuff like that. You can download packages from online, and it works really well, but I'm going to encourage you guys to go check it out elsewhere because I don't want to be distributing things that are not, free for free. So let's just not do that right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little thing here. I guess one last thing I can quickly show you is that if you want to click on this here, you can crop your video. That's about it, really. Then you can zoom in and stuff, and that's how people do the zooms. But that's really about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment, subscribe. I hope this was helpful to a lot of you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shadowlance out.